So for real, what do you think of the purple and gold logo?
Dude, love it.
Legit, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna just change things up. Not huge, but just a little, Because I mean, we belong to the kingdom. We're heirs to the throne, and purple and gold are royalty colors. So it's like, why
Yep.
not walk in it? Just makes sense.
Yeah.
Just
Love
makes
it.
sense. So
And this is
if
how we start the show. Hello and welcome into the Rock for Him podcast. For those of you that are watching, if you have a question for Patrick here, because Patrick Rivers is our guest and he is with this band that we have never heard of before. We never play on our show. We have never talked to before. Kidding. He is with 3 Days Under. And let me just tell you, they just dropped a song. It's fantastic. Love it. Absolutely love it. And
thank
also
you.
joining me is my good friend, my brother in Christ, the man, the myth, the Mohawk, Jeremy Brown.
What's up?
How's it going?
I'm
Dude, I mean,
excited.
don't take my next statement the wrong way, but you got the freshest big boy going on, Jeremy. I mean, and I am excited about it. Where's my big boy guy? There he is. Here he is.
Oh, oh, Jeremy, that's your new nickname. You are now Big Boy.
He's a big boy. He's a
Hey,
big boy.
yep, yep.
Oh, I never
That's
noticed
fine.
that.
Dude, I got so
I
much
take it.
nerd crap around this office, and this is it has to be that or Jimmy Neutron. You pick which one you want, Jeremy.
Jimmy
Oh,
Neutron. I love Jimmy
Take it.
Neutron.
nope, you're Big Boy. Sorry.
That's
Don't. I mean, if you're Jimmy, he's Sheen. So I mean,
There you go, Jay.
This is why we do the show. I mean, this is why we
We
have Patrick
dorks.
on.
after
We
last
dorks.
time, I'm surprised you brought me back. So
Oh, dude, we had so much fun last time. I don't think we ever laughed so hard during the show. Like at one point, I had to duck out because I started coughing. I was laughing so hard.
well,
Oh, I
good.
remember that.
And that's
Oh,
that joy that we always read about, but we don't really fully live. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And they,
and
it's
I do
scripted.
appreciate that you're not rocking the Captain Jack today, because last time you were full on Jack Sparrow. So, yeah.
I literally in my front yard today planted. I set up our flagpole again with the American flag and my pirate flag. I've literally
There
got
we go.
I've got a Jolly Roger flying in my front yard,
Love it.
and we
See?
just had new neighbors move in. So I'm just
Oh no.
Oh, Jeremy, can you imagine moving in and looking over and be like, oh,
you see this disgusting '97 trash bus in a driveway, and in their front yard they've got a Jolly Roger flag. It's like, babe, I don't know, and they're young too. And
oh.
so we got a
Oh
3-year-old,
no.
and we've met in passing just due to winter months. But yeah, I'm sure today they're like, I don't know what we've gotten ourselves into, babe.
Man, there
Oh
are so many people watching right now.
no.
Let's see. We've got, of course, Corey Ford asked you the question earlier, which you already answered. Charles Martin says, "What up, brothers? What's up?"
Oh, Charles.
Jermaine, what's poppin', label mate?
Don't pay him no mind.
And
Uh,
Jennifer Walter says, "Hey guys."
Hello,
Hey.
Jennifer. It's always see, I love Jennifer to death because wherever we are, she is there too. It doesn't matter if it's a live stream or she is like so like loyal and so just genuinely good people. Um, because I hate calling people fans and followers. Jesus is the only person who ever deserved followers. So it's like, but I mean, just having loyal people in your life, even though you don't speak with them every day, you don't cross paths with them every day. Just the loyalty to come and just see what stupid is going to fall out of my mouth this evening. So,
I mean, that's
yeah.
what we're here for.
well, you're in the right spot.
I mean, people watch us to see what stupid falls out of my mouth. So,
I'll see you're stupid and I'll raise you too, sir.
This could be a dangerous show tonight.
That's
So
gonna be.
dangerous.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be. 'Cause
Yes.
I'm on this weird. How do I place? I don't care how I say it. Like I've ever been one to pull my punches. I'm on this weird offend Christians kick, and so we'll see what happens with it. Because I'm just sick of American Christianity and how pathetic it is. So
Yep.
we're just. I mean, I'm gonna kick indoors, but I'm trying to do it the Travis McConnell way of doing it with compassion. But unfortunately, I was trained in the Marine Corps, so it's like, there is no compassion. So,
Right. Right.
Bro,
Right.
come out swinging.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
I mean, and I got to tell you, last week, I think every band that dropped new music came out swinging at
Hmm.
the American Christian just life. I mean, I was listening to them all today, just going, "Wow, these bands are seriously going to irritate some people," and I'm here for every minute of it.
Yep. Let's do
and
this.
what I heard, man, everything was a banger. So I
Oh,
mean, like so far in 2024, if you're going to release anything, you better make sure it's on par. You
yeah.
better make sure it's up to speed because I don't think anybody's playing around anymore. I
Oh,
think,
no.
I mean, a lot of our label mates they've hooked up with an amazing producer out there, um, out in Oklahoma. That Aaron Michaels, his producer. So he's
Mm.
taking their music and what you thought you knew of some of these artists, you don't know nothing because this guy's putting I don't know if it's unicorn tears or what like leprechaun magic or whatever he's doing out there. He's dropping it in their music and it's like um I'm sorry, I was reading a comment from Jennifer. But they're doing this with the music, so I mean you better come prepared. You better be
Yeah.
coming if you click on one of these tunes, you better be prepared for some good music and whoa. It's on now, boys. I got
All right.
I love this. See, this is why we wanted you on again. We had you on before, and we did all the generic. Who's your favorite artist? Who would you have go on tour with you? All that kind of stuff. No. We want to just sit here and just have fun talking to you. This is exactly what we
This is
needed.
Yep.
well, good because I mean I think you guys know that I'm not the traditional interviewee. Is that
No.
it?
No.
I mean,
No.
I mean, so same tired, boring questions. I mean, same tired, just whatever. Why can't we? Literally, I understand people want to get to know the artist who's
Yeah.
putting out the single. Instead of some just plain Jane question, why don't we just have conversations like, A, like we know each other, like we're friends, which we are. So why do we
Yeah.
got to go through a thing?
Right.
Let's bang this out. Either I get canceled or you get canceled or we all just join the cancel.
We all just get canceled.
Yeah.
Let them cancel us. We don't get paid for it. So what are they going
Right?
to do?
What are you
Right?
gonna do? Take my birthday? No.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, these are our favorite types of shows when we have guests back on and we can just sit here and be like, so what's going on? Fill us
Yep.
in. How are you doing? Like, because I got to tell you, back 5 months ago, you had posted something, and I get this message from Jeremy. He's like, I think they're done. Like, you had posted something that kind of pointed to the fact that 3 Days Under was no more. And Jeremy's like, dude, no. And so
Yeah, man.
I'm frantically scrolling your page. I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck. And then all of a sudden we see some news and we're like, wait a minute. And then all of a sudden I open up the email. I see a new song. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Well, I mean, like last year was a trying year anyway. I think probably halfway through the year, I don't know if the guys were aware of it, but I was just kind of spent doing the same old. And my biggest question um, to the band for the last couple of years is what are we leaving these people with? Are we just going to do a rock show and then just go on our merry way, collect our whatever, our pendants and our hot dog and going on down the road? But what are we really leaving these people with? And so that coupled with, um, I had again, it's my mentality. I'm a perfectionist to a certain extent, and so that coupled with the idea of I would pour everything I had into strangers when I'm out on the road.
Mm.
Like every ounce of me. And I know the wife and kids, they've been to a few of our events here locally, and they've watched me pour into strangers and just pour like so much compassion, so much love, and so much understanding into people on the road. And when I got home, this is my place to decompress. It's not like I came home and I was a monster, so please don't take it that way. But maybe in their eyes I was. But I would just withdraw. I would sit on my corner of the couch. I would just don't want to be bothered, don't want to be irritated, um, just be tired just from being out. Just stop. I've talked for 2.5 days straight. I've had people all around me, and I wouldn't be the Jesus that my family needed. I wouldn't be the pastor of my home. And that's where it all starts anyway. That is my immediate circle of influence that God has given me. It's right here under my own roof. And it honestly came to a point to where the wife packed up in October, the beginning of October, um, and she packed up the kids and she left. And that's when it hit. I was like, and granted, there's a bunch of other underlying stuff that led to this. Um, but that's when it hit, and that's when I like the day after she left, I got online and I posted that live video of just like I'm not. That's the realization that I had. How am I? And the rule, it's always been a standing rule. If we're not living the life that we preach about and pour into others about while we're on the road, then we don't deserve to be on the road. We don't deserve to be in a platform. We don't deserve to have these things.
Mhm.
And let alone do we deserve to be pouring into somebody else saying, this is really how you should live your life when mine's jacked back in Kentucky. So that, I mean, and I said, God, point blank, I was like, if this is the end of the band, let it be the end of the band. I want to be what's right for you and what's right for what you've given me here directly. And I was like, I hope it's a quick process, but however long you deem it worthy, I will do whatever you want me to do, God. Just lead me. And it's like, as soon as that conversation with God, that obedience, that repentance, that acceptance of everything, as soon as that happened, it's like the floodgates opened. It's like, okay, you're getting the hang of this. It only took you 40 some odd years, but you're getting the hang of this as soon as we embrace the suck and we become obedient and listening to our Father, that the quicker we're out of the crap, the quicker we're out of the storm. And so it was, I mean, by the end of October, everybody was back home. We found a nice Christian counselor that sat down with us, and we still, we attend her for like I guess, tune-ups now. I mean, just to make sure that everything's running smooth that way too, because she's pretty much our accountability partner at this point. She will not hesitate to tell us, you're doing it wrong and you're doing it wrong, and or both of you are doing it wrong. And so it's been cathartic. I'm so thankful for it because I'm literally learning how to love better, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got to tell you, if you and your wife really want to connect on a deep level, there's this program that my wife and I are going through right now with
Dude, I
one
don't
of
even like her. What are you talking about? I kid.
I'm sure my wife doesn't like me right now, but we do this program called CTO. Don't ask me what it stands for. I just know it's called CTO, and it's all about like forgiveness. And I got to tell you, it has opened up the lines of communication between my wife and I that, I mean, there's nothing that we hold back from each other. We shouldn't anyways, but just literally like just conversation. Like I can look at her now, and I always said that she was my best friend. She is honestly my best friend. There is nothing I hold back from her. Even the silly, stupid stuff that she doesn't even care about that I get excited for. She now gets excited for it because we're going through this program and just connecting with each other. You guys
That
should really
support,
look into it.
that
Yeah.
unity.
Yeah.
Well, what I discovered is like, because God said, or Jesus, when he was telling us, he was like, love your Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. That is the first and most important commandment. The second is just as important, to love your neighbor as you love yourself. What I'm starting to learn is people don't love themselves. And what I'm also
Yeah.
starting to learn is I thought I loved myself. But the more I sit and I reflect and I contemplate of who Patrick is and what exactly I'm doing it or what I'm doing, I don't love me.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I beat myself up a lot. I trash talk myself. I undermine what God has done in my life. Like, and like he'll give me a blessing, like the blessing of the band, and I'll just be like, we just suck. And I'll bash what God's given me, and it's like, dude, what are you doing, man? You got to love yourself before you'll ever love anybody else. So I'm on a path for a peace, because between the war and PTSD and all that crap that I went through back in the day that I still carry, I had a pastor friend look at me the other day. He's like, you know what your problem? And I mean, this is the first time I ever met this guy face to face. And after about 2 hours of discussion, he was like, you know what your problem is? It's like, no, I mean, I got plenty of problems, but I'm sure you're gonna give me a new one. Thanks, bro. But he was like, you need peace. He's like, I feel like you've been fighting a war for 40 some years and you've never known peace. And he's like, once you find that, then you will find the happiness that you need. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well that sucks because I don't know how to find peace. Everything's been I'm high alert all the time. I'm a fixer. I'm a whatever. Then God dropped in my spirit today, and it literally changed my entire life. I mean, and it's so stupid simple. He's like, dude, all you really got to do is patiently wait on me. That's it. That's it. Joyfully and patiently wait on me. Nothing, you can't do it anyway. Just joyfully and patiently wait on me. And I'm like, holy crap. No offense, God. I don't know if your crap is holy or what. I don't know what you're doing here. I done offended all the blue hairs that ever talked to you. You know, why are you talking about God's poop for? Just shut up. Um, but but it's it's so it's weird. I walked around with a stupid grin on my face that I can't even. I'm in the gym and I can't run because I got bad lungs. And so I put the thing on. I just added to my workout today. We're going to do 15 minutes of a 15% incline at two miles per hour speed. And I felt like freaking Forrest Gump when he's running. Yeah, not even know why I got this dumb expression on my face. And it's a gym where like old people flutter in the morning, so they're just trying to get their unstiff or their stiff bodies unstiff. So they're walking down just Lieutenant Dan, you got legs. Like, the whole morning, man. It's like here we are.
Oh,
But
oh my goodness! And if you're wondering why I'm laughing, I keep looking over at the chat, and
what up, Tim?
Jaron is just. First off, he wants to know how your hemorrhoids are doing.
I told you don't give that guy any time. And that's another thing. That's another thing. Every time I go live, this guy will jump in the feed and he'll drop things like that. What he needs to do is he needs to go ahead and he needs to get a hold of Faithhead and find out what happened to them when we were on the road with them a few years back. And then you see if he wants to keep poking the bear. But because I mean we're all together in September in Ohio, and so careful what games you play, son. I'm the mascot.
You're right.
Oh, so we do have
Oh.
to talk a little bit about what you guys have got going on. I mean, you're on a label. You have some new music
How'd that
coming
come
out.
about?
What's going on? People want to know.
Well, we were playing the Good Fight last August. It was us, Big Rev, and Aaron Michaels. And I think Big Rev was up. He kicked everything off, and so when Aaron and I were standing there talking, and he's like, "Hey man, God's dropped it on my heart. This thing that I wanted to ask you about." He's like, "I don't have any full details. I haven't really worked this thing out yet, but when he dropped it on my heart, I immediately thought of you and 3 Days Under, and he said God's telling me that I should probably start a label." And he's like, I wanted to bring you guys aboard. I said, well, dude, as soon as you get everything worked out in the details, hit me up and we'll discuss it. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to work with you. And so then about Christmas time rolled around, we were getting ready to release Shedding Skin. It was the New Year's release. And I'd gone through my email radio contact list, and I know Aaron, he has had a bunch of success in the markets. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, do you have any emails that I might not have that I could send out to, because we're getting ready to drop this song. And he said, actually, let me call you. And so that's when he called me. I think it was the week before Christmas. or 2 weeks before Christmas, he called me and he dropped it on my plate, and I said, "Yeah, yeah, let's do this." And then I procrastinated signing a contract. I think it was the end of January. I finally signed it and got it in the mail. But it wasn't pro. I'm a musician. We're lazy and we're procrastinators. I will get it. That'll be the next thing on the thing. Uh, we always got a thing. But so yeah, I mean, and we're super excited to be there, because it's in the Marine Corps. I had a camaraderie. I had a band of brothers and sisters that I could always turn to, and in the band I have that with Robin and Jamie. But now we all have somebody that we can turn to, and have our I mean, going back to accountability partners, having those guys in the label family, the Resurrection Mafia. Yeah, what's up? I coined that the other night on our because we had a label Bible study last week, and so if you see Resurrection Mafia shirts, that's this guy coined it. So Jermaine, keep your grubby little paws off that. Um, I don't want to try to hear you run around talking about, yeah, that was me. Shut up, Jermaine. I'm gonna add a fourth. Well, yeah, and you know what, Jermaine? Just for the record, you added a fourth member, so now you're quad cord. So shut it. Quad cord. What's even a quad cord?
Oh,
Oh man.
so you guys are working on another song. I know you released a clip
Oh, yeah.
the other day, the Fruits of the Spirit.
What is it?
The Fruit of the Spirit?
Oh no, it has nothing to do with fruit of the spirit, bro. It's fruits of the flesh, bro.
Couldn't remember the name of the song, but
That's all right. It's brand new to everybody, but I mean, it is man, that's gonna be a banger. Big Rev dropped some bars in the breakdown of that thing that I just want to put out, but I can't. I would, if it was up to me, I would go ahead and release the song as is. It's because it's like 80% done. I was like, here, everybody tell us what you think of the sample. Um, Absolutely, you can go ahead and Jennifer and start bugging him because I told him we need to get Resurrection Mafia shirts made. Absolutely,
let's do it. Let's do it.
but like
Shoot,
I
I'm still
was,
waiting on your shirt, Pat.
well,
I'm still
that's
waiting
just
on that. I'm
I
still
know it was
waiting on
like
the
two years ago,
yeah,
right?
2 months ago,
Yeah, I
yeah.
was supposed to drop it in the mail because I got your Rock for Him shirt. Again, it
Yeah.
goes back to that last statement I made about procrastination.
I know, man. I've been waiting
Way to
to
call me out on the live stream, man. Wow.
I love how
I
he
mean,
just randomly drops that in. Remember that time you were supposed to send us stuff and you didn't?
right? I
And
think
he's
you're
staring
with
right at
Jermaine
you.
at this point. But if it was up to me, I would release everything as soon as we start working on it. But Jamie, he gets all upset. Why are you releasing our crap out there when it's not even halfway done? And then he's right. So, but no, this song's a banger. This song is like got some '90s grunge rock written all over it. Um, for the most part, it's a basic riff and a basic drive, but it is so good. It's so good. And because we plan on doing an album release in September, because it's been what 6 years since we really released anything that's tangible for people to grab.
yeah.
As far as physical copies, so we figured it's about time. And so we're working on a ton of music. I mean, I know we're gonna pull about three or four off the Spotify and re-record some parts and remaster the songs there to add to it just to give it our flavor now. Because I mean, if you go back to Bleeding Through, that was when we first started creeping into our feel goods zone. And then I think we grew up in some shadows, and then we did one or drop one or two more, but we're gonna pull all those down because we feel like we finally crawled into our spot where we're just comfortable, where it's like we look at it and we're like, man, yeah, that this is good. This is good, and this is where we're happy. This is where we're gonna have fun doing it. Back to our roots type deal. Not trying to keep up with Joneses, not trying to keep up with our peers. We're just writing music that is very biblical. It's very freaking oh, what's the word I'm looking for?
Awesome.
It's I hope it's awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's awesome. I'm going to go ahead on a limb and I'm going to say it's awesome, but it definitely make you think too. I'm very big on introspection and self-examination, and so lyrically, I like to throw that crap out there. Like, okay, if I got to think about it, you do too. So, so I mean, if I gotta lay up hours of the night, sometimes 4 and 5 nights a week, wrestling with these issues, I know I'm not the only one, so I'm gonna put it out there. And that's another thing that I love about us is because we'll let you know that we are just sin bags, scumbags, you know? Well, I'm not going to ride a platform telling you, oh, I'm holier than thou. I've got it all together. My walk with God is perfect, and Jesus knows me and loves me. I fear every single day if I die away from me, I never knew you, you worker of iniquity. I fear that statement. I
Yep.
know who I am in Christ, but I still check my motives every single day. I was watching a video on YouTube because I'm a big fan of, again, this is where it's weird. I'm a big fan of watching those videos of people who die and like go to heaven or go to hell. And so there's this old man who's like somehow his like heart valves detached, and he'd been in church, serving in his church from the time he was little, and at the time it happened, he was like 60. And but somehow he coughed or something, and like the one of his tubes or something. I don't know. I'm not a freaking doctor, so if anybody's judging my lack of doctorness, you just chime in the chat. But he started to bleed out on the drive home, and but somehow he got to the hospital. He's dead, and so God starts walking him through all these places. And one of the questions that was asked him, he's like, "So who are you really doing all this for?" And the guy responded, well, I was doing it for God, you know. Just they're like, no, you were doing it for you, so you could check a box, so you could feel good about yourself. So I made me pose the question to myself: if hell was never even on the table, not even a consequence, and there's some people out there who would argue, well, hell's not even a consequence. It wasn't made for humans. No, it wasn't made for humans, but Jesus talked an awful lot about it and how we wind up there. So. But so if hell wasn't even a consequence, would I still love Jesus the way I say I love Jesus?
I
I
mean,
can't answer that
I literally
question.
wake up every morning and I teach children's church every so often at church. And I tell the kids I wake up every morning and I apologize to my wife and I apologize to God because I am going to make one of the two angry at some point during the day, if not both. And I know who I am. Like I'm secure in my faith, but I also, just like you, I have that fear of, man, I'm going to get there and I don't want to hear "Depart from me, you worker of enigma." The word you said.
Equity, that's the one you're looking for. But
Yeah,
if we want to go with the indignity, I mean, we can
yeah,
go with that too.
yeah. The word you said. And that's like one of my biggest fears, that I'm doing what I can and and I am failing at it. But that also tells me that I'm not failing at it because I'm worried about it. You
Right.
know, I think about
And
it.
that's where I kind of land in it too, man. Is because, well, if I'm wrestling with the question, then that means at least my heart, some part of my heart is correct. Because I'm wrestling with those highly important questions. But I'm not going to let it again steal my peace or steal my joy. I just want to make sure to ensure that my motive behind me ever taking a stage again or releasing another song isn't for Patrick. Do
Yep.
I love doing this? Absolutely. This is fun. This is your childhood dream coming true just because you became an adult and you earned some money and now you can afford to go do some do some stuff that you couldn't do when you were younger. And so, yeah, this is a blast. I love it. I mean, and I'd be lying if I was to say that I don't enjoy when I take the stage and people cheer and they're loving the music. I
Right.
love that, but I can't become prideful about that. I can't let that become the motive that we go out and take the stage. It always has to be with, because at the end of the evening we're going to be gone.
Yep.
We're going to be on to either the next stop or on to the house. So are we leaving the people with Jesus, or are we leaving them with 3 days under? The answer every single time, we better be leaving them with Jesus.
If you like what you saw today, hit the subscribe and like button down below, and don't forget to share it to all your friends. Also, leave us a comment down below. If you're gonna rock, rock for